From rags to riches, stories are my favorite type of stories. When someone starts off with nothing but through their own efforts makes something of themselves, it's super inspiring and motivating, and today's story is just that. This is the story of a poor girl who worked her way up from an intern to the top lawyer in her firm, humiliating her coworkers in the process. Once upon a time, there was a poor law graduate who was looking for a job. She wanted to get a job at a prestigious law firm because she had heard that they paid their interns very well. The pay was so good that it could help her pay off her student loans and credit card debt. So she sent out her resume to dozens of firms before finally landing an interview at a big firm. When she arrived at the office building, she saw that it was massive. It looked like a palace. When she walked inside, she saw that the lobby was just as impressive as the outside of the building. There were huge glass windows everywhere. The walls were made of marble. There was even a fountain in the center of the lobby. Ouch. She walked up to the front desk and asked where she needed to go for her interview. The receptionist looked down at her and said, "You're not one of the cleaning ladies, are you? Because if you are, then you need to go to the second floor. If you're here to see Mr. Williams, he's on the 34th floor." She could feel her face getting red with anger, but she didn't want to make things worse, so she simply said, "I'm here for the lawyer position. I have an interview with Mr. Williams." The receptionist looked at her from head to toe and then said, "Oh, I'm sorry. You must be the new cleaning lady. Mr. Williams isn't here yet, so you can get started on the second floor." The girl felt tears come into her eyes, but she held them back. She knew that she couldn't let this woman get to her. She took a deep breath and said, "Actually, I don't think you have the wrong person. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be on the 34th floor." The receptionist rolled her eyes and picked up the phone. "Yeah, I have someone here for the lawyer position," she said into the phone. After she hung up, she said to the girl, "Mr. Williams will see you now." The girl walked into Mr. Williams' office and saw that it was huge. There was a big mahogany desk in the middle of the room and several framed pictures of Mr. Williams with other important people. Mr. Williams was a tall, thin man with slicked-back gray hair, and a sharp jawline and piercing blue eyes. He looked at the girl up and down and said, "So you're the new cleaning lady. I've been expecting you." The girl was furious, but she didn't show it. She sat down in the chair across from Mr. Williams' desk and said, "Actually, I'm not the cleaning lady. I'm here for the lawyer position." Mr. Williams leaned back in his chair and said, "Oh, I thought you were the cleaning lady because you look like one." The girl's eyes narrowed and she said, "What do you mean?" Mr. Williams shrugged and said, "You just look like the type of person who cleans offices." The girl stood up and said, "Well, I may look like I'm from the cleaning department, but I assure you I'm not. In fact, I'm one of the best lawyers in the country." Mr. Williams laughed and said, "That's funny. Very funny. Like your attitude, but I'm afraid you're not what I'm looking for." The girl was furious, but she didn't show it. She turned and walked out of the office. As she walked down the hallway, she heard Mr. Williams' voice behind her saying, "Wait a minute. Come back here." She ignored him and continued walking until she reached the elevator. She got into the elevator and pressed the button for the first floor. As the elevator descended, she could hear Mr. Williams' voice echoing behind her. "Get back here, you stupid girl. I haven't finished with you." She stepped out of the elevator and walked into the lobby. She didn't look back. She wasn't going to let some rich guy get to her. She had bigger dreams than working for this firm. Over the next few weeks, the girl found a small apartment on the outskirts of town. It was nothing fancy, but it was a place to stay. She also found a job at a small law firm. It wasn't the prestigious law firm she had hoped for, but it was a job. She worked hard at the small firm and quickly became one of the best lawyers. Her clients loved her. They appreciated her intelligence and tenacity. She was always able to get them the best possible outcome. Meanwhile, Mr. Williams' firm was struggling. It had lost several high-profile cases, and their reputation was suffering. He needed a good lawyer to turn things around, but he didn't know where to find one. One day he was reading the newspaper when he saw an article about the girl's successes at the small firm. He immediately regretted his decision to let her go. He knew that she was the lawyer he had been looking for. He picked up the phone and called her. "I'm sorry to bother you," he said, "but I need you to come back to my firm. We need your help." The girl was shocked. She couldn't believe that Mr. Williams was calling her. She thought he had forgotten all about her. "I don't know," she said. "I really like my job here." Mr. Williams interrupted her. "Don't be stupid," he said. "You know you want to work for me. Come back and I'll give you a raise." The girl hesitated, but she couldn't resist the temptation of a higher salary. She agreed to come back to Mr. Williams' firm. When she arrived, she was given an office with a big window overlooking the city. She was excited, but she knew that she had to prove herself to her colleagues. She worked hard on her first case and won. Her colleagues were impressed, and slowly they began to accept her. But there were still some who were jealous of her success. One day, the girl was given a case that no one else wanted. It was a long shot, but she didn't care. She was determined to win. The case went to trial, and the girl's client was a man who had been accused of murdering his wife. The prosecution had a strong case, but the girl was able to poke holes in their arguments. She proved that there was reasonable doubt that her client was guilty. The jury found her client not guilty, and he was released. The girl had won her biggest case yet. She walked into the office the next day and saw the faces of her coworkers. They were shocked and angry. They couldn't believe that she had won. She had proven the most guilty man not guilty. They had all assumed that the man was guilty, but she had seen something they had missed. She had seen the cracks in the prosecution's case. She had taken the time to investigate, and she had found evidence that proved the man's innocence. One of her coworkers, a man named Tom, couldn't believe that the girl had won. "How did you do it?" he asked. "How did you prove that he was innocent?" The girl smiled. "I just did my job," she said. "I did the research. I found the evidence. It wasn't hard." Tom shook his head in disbelief. "You're amazing," he said. "I never thought I would say this, but you're the best lawyer I know." The girl blushed. She didn't know what to say. She had never been praised like this before. She was used to being belittled by her coworkers. She had never thought that they would praise her. Over the next few years, the girl became the top lawyer at the firm. She was eventually made a partner. She had proven herself to be the best lawyer money could buy. She had brains, beauty, and a killer instinct. She was the complete package. Today, the girl is still one of the best lawyers in the country. She has won countless cases, and she is a partner at a prestigious law firm. She has come a long way from the girl who was almost hired as a cleaner. She has proven that she is more than just a pretty face. She is a force to be reckoned with,